Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your morning to join us. We're going to have a great webinar today with Morgan Holbein joining us from Assurity Life out of Lincoln, Nebraska. We know you have busy schedules, especially this time of year, so we really appreciate your time. And in the spirit of that, this is going to be the first presentation of a term sales concept series where we're going to be going through four quick 15 to 20-minute presentations about the top term strategies we've seen this year. So we really hope to see you at the next three. Before we jump in, as always, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll make sure they all get answered at the end of the presentation. And afterwards, give us a call to receive a copy of the webinar and answer any other questions you might have. So thank you again, and I'm going to hand it off to Morgan.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. All right. Good morning, everyone. Again, thanks for joining us on this lovely Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Like Sean said, we're going to be doing a series, and for the Assurity series, we're going to be focusing on our term product, and we'll have 4 different sales ideas here. So the first one we're going to cover today is mortgage protection, and then just to give you a little preview of what the next 3 will be, the next one will be marketing to millennials, the third will be marketing to women, and then the last one will be marketing to baby boomers. So keep that in mind. Again, we're going to be focusing on the term product each time, and we'll always go over some of the basics at the beginning too, just as a refresher to what those highlights are. So let's go ahead. Sean introduced me already, but my name is Morgan Holbein. I'm the Regional Sales Coordinator at Assurity for this region. So we work pretty closely with Art Jetter and have had a great relationship with them for quite some time. Who are we? We are from Lincoln, Nebraska, so a local company here in Nebraska, just like Jetter. We have an A- AM Best rating. We're known as a one-stop shop just because we do have so many different product offerings, life, health, and annuities, and from simplified to full medical underwriting, which this term product is a pretty good mix of both, you'll see. So today's agenda, like Sean said, we're going to make it pretty short and sweet this morning. We know you're busy trying to wrap up 2018, but we're going to go over the term life highlights, just a little bit of that product overview. Then we'll go over the sales idea, which is mortgage protection. So some of those questions to ask your clients, and then the solution to those questions, concerns, that they have when it comes to protecting their mortgage and protecting their family. Then at the end, we'll talk about some of those riders that you can add for some extra protection. So we have a couple great living benefit riders that you can add to the term, just to add extra coverage for your family in the event of your passing. So product highlights here are going to make it short and sweet. Term periods, we start at 10 and go up to 30 years. At the end of that term period, you can convert it to one of our whole life or permanent products. So we have a whole life and a universal life. So it's not a conversion product, it's just one of our permanent products that we have available in our portfolio. Face amounts, we start at $25,000, so pretty low, and go all the way up to $10 million. So we have a wide range of offering there. Our accelerated underwriting kicks in at the following ages, so 18 to 50, 500 and under, 51 to 65, 350 and under. And that accelerated underwriting will give you an instant decision at the end of that EAP, so it'll let you know if it's instantly approved, and we'll send it straight to issue, which is really nice. Or it'll let you know if we need to have an underwriter review it or if it's declined. So it really knocks out any of those that are not in good order, saves you and the client some time as well. And they have a chance for it to be non-medical as well if you keep it under those amounts for those ages. Underwriting classes you'll see there, and it is annually renewable to age 95 after that initial term. So there are those highlights there, pretty quick and simple. So we're going to go over that sales idea. So the sales idea this week is mortgage protection. So we're going to ask 2 questions, 2 common questions that you probably ask every client, or that you should be asking every client. when it comes to insurance in general, especially life insurance. So the first one you'll want to ask is, how much of a financial cushion do you have in place? They may say they have some savings, maybe they have some life insurance in place already, maybe they have something smaller through work, maybe they'll talk about their 401k, whatnot. But just kind of get a feel for what they have in place so we can gauge whether or not they're fully covered or not. What are your biggest financial concerns that you'd like help protecting? And one of those, a lot of those biggest things are going to be things like retirement, mortgage, obviously is a big thing, medical bills, funeral expenses, just making sure that the family can continue on living a normal and comfortable life. That's kind of the answer you'll get from a lot of people. So a Gallup survey was done earlier this year in April. They do one every single year, so the data is always fresh. But we took a look at, or they took a look at America's top financial concerns. So found these pretty interesting. So the left would be the very or moderately worried. And you'll see that, medical cost, retirement, healthcare, children's college, monthly bills, rent, mortgage, those are all have a pretty staggering number. So a lot of people in America are concerned about being able to pay those things in case of an unexpected death in the family. So this is a good little worksheet that we have, and it is available on AssureLink, and any of the folks at ArtJetter could also help you find it. We can send it out after the webinar too, but this is a good one to kind of take with you to an appointment or give to a client just to see, how much life insurance they truly need in order to make the life for the family that they're leaving behind comfortable. So it takes into consideration mortgage, credit debt, school loans, car loans, all other debt, takes into consideration the annual income. It just takes it farther than, the typical, you need 10 times your salary or 5 times your salary or whatnot. So it really breaks it down so that you know exactly how much you need. So we're going to go into that sales idea, and I'm going to use the example of Chris and Amy. So a pretty typical middle class America family. The couple wants to make sure that they have a plan to help cover their mortgage. So they have about $200,000 left on their mortgage. Their payment's $1,250 a month. So they each purchase term life insurance with that accelerated underwriting from Assurity, which offers affordable premiums on their $200,000 face amounts. So their main concern here is their mortgage. So that's why they're both requesting that $200,000. So in the case of one of them dying, they are able to pay off that mortgage and really still help their family out. Because of their good health and because they're under that $500,000 threshold, they just answered a few questions on the application on the e-app, and they received instant approvals from Assurity. So the solution, and this is an example rate, they both qualified for Preferred Plus, non-tobacco, for $200,000, 20-year term life, and I believe they're in their 40s. So we're looking at $23.14 a month and $16.53 a month for each of them. So that's a pretty affordable rate to be able to cover that mortgage. So we're looking at great rates. We're looking at a fast, easy application process with little to no health questions and health testing as well if they're underneath those limits. So I think that's one thing that concerns people or overwhelms people when they're starting to talk about life insurance, which also going back to that worksheet, that can kind of help calm their fears too and really break it down, because I think some people just don't know exactly how much they need and exactly how affordable it can be. So a pretty basic explanation there with a good example of kind of what the base looks like for our term rates. So now we're going to look at those living benefit riders. I do want to mention, this one's not on here, we do have an accelerated benefits rider built into the term product. So that'll pay up to $250,000 if they are deemed as terminally ill or confined to a nursing home. So keep that in mind. That is built into the policy. And these living benefit riders, you can add on to the policy just to add some extra coverage, just in case other things were to arise, such as a critical illness or a disability. But one big thing I want to talk about too that's been really popular with our term this year is the return of premium benefit. On our illustrations, you'll see it listed as the endowment benefit rider. So this provides a return of premium to the owner, whether they let it lapse due to cancellation or at the end of that term period. So it is based off of a schedule, and you'll receive a percentage of that back depending on how many years you've paid into that policy. So it's different for each person depending on their age, gender, how much they're requesting, and how long that term period is that they selected. So when you run the illustration, that schedule is going to be on the second page. So you can take a look at that if you want to play around with those quotes and add that endowment benefit rider on there. And it is pretty affordable, and we see it actually working really well in the younger to middle ages. So definitely a great benefit to add because they have the chance to receive 100% of their premiums back at the end of that term period, which gives them a little, ease of mind in purchasing a term policy. So again, if it's terminated or lapsed before that term period is over, a percentage will be paid. So they don't have to make it to the end of their term period in order to receive something back. They'll receive a percentage even if they don't make it all the way. It is available only on the 20 and 30-year term, so no 10 or 15. And again, that is known as the endowment benefit rider in the illustration software and on the application, so in case you're looking for it. So that's one addition there. Another living benefit rider that you can add just to create, to add even more protection to this term policy would be the critical illness rider. So this is available for up to age 65 and it terminates at age 75. It works a lot like our critical illness standalone product. So if you sell health at all or have looked into this product at all, you'll notice it looks pretty similar. There's just a few less covered illnesses, and you'll see that on the left in that benefit chart, everything that we cover for this rider. So the benefit amounts start at $20,000, go up to $100,000. It pays a lump sum benefit upon first ever diagnosis of one of those covered illnesses. So, and that is completely separate from the death benefit that you selected for the term life product. So again, they are on the same policy, but they're completely separate pools of money. So that's nice as well. And just like the standalone product, we use a 3-category approach. So you'll see we have a heart and stroke, other illnesses, and then a cancer category. So we'll pay once in each category. So let's say, for example, you select a $30,000 benefit amount for this critical illness rider. You have a heart attack, so we'll pay out that $30,000 benefit. Unfortunately, a few years later, you do need, you go into kidney failure for whatever reason, unfortunately, we'll pay out another $30,000 until all 3 benefits have been satisfied. Then we'll close out that critical illness rider. So that's the way our standalone product works. Same way for the rider as well. And it's kind of nice to put them all on one. You do save that policy fee, and it's just all in one place. So it's pretty nice. And the last one I want to talk about for the living benefit riders that you can add onto that term is the monthly disability income rider. So if you've looked into our disability policies at all or just looked at disability in general, you know that there are a lot of bells and whistles that go into it. There's a lot of different occupation classes, elimination periods, benefit periods. So it can get a little overwhelming, and so a lot of clients will just be like, no, not for me. I don't even want to think about it. I don't need it. I have it through work, whatnot. Well, this is an easy add to just tack on to that term policy that you're already getting. Again, you save a policy fee, and it's very affordable to add on as well, and it's very simple. We keep it simple with the 1 occupation class. It's a 90-day elimination period, 2-year benefit period, so we keep it pretty standard. The benefit ranges from $300 to $3,000 a month, and the term periods on here 10, 15, and 20, issue age up to 60, and the term period for 30 will issue up to age 50 and will terminate at age 65. So again, an easy way to just tack on some disability coverage in case that individual would become disabled. It is all wrapped into that term policy, and again, it's a separate pool of money from that death benefit or from the critical illness benefit too. So nice little add-on here. Okay, and that kind of wraps up our term mortgage protection sales idea. So kind of the most important thing to take away is just really figure out what's most important to your client. Usually, if they have a family or anyone they'll be leaving behind, they're going to want to put their family first and be able to provide for them even in their passing. So whether that's covering their mortgage or monthly bills or whatnot, they want to be able to provide. And I think that's the most important message we want to bring across with that term life, and we make it pretty easy for you. So you'll see your Assurity team here. Again, my name's Morgan. Paige Phelps is your regional sales manager, and we're your team, and you're definitely more than welcome to come to us with any questions. But like I said, ArtJetter, those folks at ArtJetter that you work with are a great resource as well. So feel free to either type a question in the chat box that you'll see on your screen, or you can give ArtJetter a call, and if you want to talk more about the product or if you have any questions or anything. Thank you for joining today. Again, we'll have another one next week. We'll actually have 3 more, one each Tuesday. Next week we'll cover marketing to millennials. So definitely make sure to get registered for that one. And Sean, I'll let you wrap it up if you have anything else to say.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any questions. So if you guys do have any, make sure you put them in there while we've got the expert on the line here. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing all of you next week, next Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central. And with that, I will let everyone who doesn't have any questions get off the line. Thank you.